Semna all cano a part of a constitutional interpretation ama me krona asande akwa tam Supreme Court. Enti omudi ho asema enyeye. So these are the details my room fisa and some way echo Supreme Court ama Justice Amadou Tanko and the ruling by Emma relief the injunction application ma many penyina obobotugu ye. One ten of say and or tam some they call High Court about Wagu, and there is another one or they are called ECOWAS Court. And I'm a say court shopping and not judicial shopping, you should understand, because there is one process ongoing at the same time. It's the same process because now no kind ECOWAS relieves Nana all seeking to you, and you could see the similarities in the for the question maybe some want to say a constitutional process that has been set in motion based on a specific constitutional provision within the jurisdiction of this country. Can ECOWAS court direct a committee that is set in motion by the president pen executive powers are a source from the constitution? Can an ECOWAS court compel that particular president to say the constitutional process within the jurisdiction?
Next one, what?
Marty.
Offer.
Jebi.
Of innocence.
I mentioned what here for.
Yeah, just
over the weekend now was very sad day for sad weekend for Ghana. We lost Daddy Lumba.
Yes.
And I think it's an opportunity to pay tribute to his memory, because for me, where I sit, I've listened to music, but I'm not sure that there is anybody that is close to Lumba when it comes to. Oh, and you know a lot. I mean to mean choose. Empire Bonnie is one of my favorites. Yes. Yes, and I think it's good across the political divide. Obia Emoneno.
Yeah.
There is this funny quote among social media circulated, and I'm sure you've come across it. Obisa Brofu NTP Ntia and Kajama Jackson Young Lumba.
I don't say that Lumba, Nenumba, a German Casa.
The gentleman was great. You see, it wasn't just about young Casa language, but how he's able to sample it. Out about Tonoma, wouldn't see
together.
Yes, because about two, I don't know, young Casa, but quite for sort of it will take years for you to appreciate Asama Oka.
That's true.
And he was truly a legend. So I think it's an opportunity to pay that particular. I hope this time around, something will be done in his memory. Ghana will be 1 year, Kusia Brosan, Dying Binet, Nakusium, just as I never answered him. Let us build something, a monument to be a Nipabako Kocaine, said Lumba, no way near. People can even go there and pay money. Say a library, say a monument, or anything.
I think it's over 202 songs.
Yes.
What's about the whole day?
Oh, yeah. And you're not does. So I think something should be done in his name. For the back because what Lumba has done, he cannot just fade off from a man for because Ghana we know after 1 year, after 2 years, but what he's done. I'm even proposing so young people no more ban a man for a talented one music. Now let us establish a music college somewhere. Young people can go there, learn from the basis. Oh, sir.
Creative part.
Oh, then I think they should continue.
Ongoing.
Oh, okay, then I think that they should continue. Young people have access because because a talent in a man for Munedoso, or be an idea, or be a music. So we're able to build this platform for a man for and we can even name it after that Lumba for what he's done. So I think that is just about the way. JB, about the budget. Now we'll be said before the budget, expectation and call Ghana for team. I think that the ordeals that Ghana for have had to grapple with over the years. Because of the economic downturn and Ghana go through na idea as obianim ya father hardship. We had a situation where that governor of Bank of Ghana at them the next thing that comes to his mind is print sika sa anybody also inflation and I'm 54 thereabout. Then as for the international space at the credit space, Ghana was locked out to a point that we could not go there to assess. All the credible rating agencies in Ghana downgraded Ghana to a restricted default, a big junk status. Among the community of nations, not Ghana, we could not even go out there oko bond market na yako floatino na nobody was willing because na ya floatia sika na de ba wunya nyansade bia ba kire dia danse say yakoba obosia no we na de ye lo and behold here we are, a new government has taken over, and for me we are not out of the woods yet. Let us make that particular thing clear. Say Ghana you free how no, we are still in our trouble, but I think there's still too near. There is hope beckoning. Confidence is once again returning. Investors are coming. And I say we are making just because the figures, the numbers, and the statistics now clearly give credence to some of these things, because within a short period, said our debt estimate dropped from 726 billion to 613 billion within your friend said 6 months. That is an incredible achievement. You don't even expect, because your debt to your GDP before 2020 were now 68.2 or 3%. IMF catch and say they are giving Ghana more the economic space now, and that's the NMC corner. They are giving us the next 10 years. So you're making sure say your debt to your GDP will come down to 45%. Within 6 months. This debt to GDP is around 43. So something that was expected to be done in 10 years has been done within 6 months.
6 months, yeah.
For me, I think that just a way by before and I say idea we like when in your home because give you that credit worthiness now we can return to the space. And again, debt now ASEAN form no is another one. And then so no give you that particular way. Inflation from 28, I drop it down and then I'm 13. Your friend saying end of year projection, our finance minister here, you know, he was saying say after the end of this year, no, my inflation numbers na kwa do your friend is saying your friend is saying 11. Half of it say you was 16 clearly you were 13 clearly a choice say do baby. And adeba na metaka ho asem has to do with the banking sector cleanup na nasefo na ya me betan aka kire say ADB na your friend say NIB bank na gu edan keke na sisi ho. People thought that we were doing politics, and our finance minister confirmed that particular thing. But then instead of say obegu these banks, you know, these banks have been recapitalized. What put to a huge sums of money. Ghana shares say 450 and ya no akeke
450 million Ghana cedis.
Yes, a buying shares are one Nestor Ghana or the nyina alcohol and a bond of about 1.5 billion. So ya channel nyina alcohol
so the so banks now
just to make sure say we are sana deposit sika or over about 6.1 billion income. Again, over 900 people in a year across the country. Our your friend is saying that particular bank, you save them. That is the smart way of doing things. Sabaya, omnipa ehun konkwachire no. Esi ameno ka say within this space, all the rating agencies now coming back once again, giving Ghana a boost because Moody's upgrading, Fitch upgrading, and then S&P's too is working very soon. I think that the numbers will come out the actual figures. You know, enyama bontan clearly in the trust and some of these things have been done. So JB, for me, I think for me agency the numbers look good, and I did very important. Emma numbers look good over the years. Cry over has to do with the dollar. CD dollar. And interestingly, no, your CD now the worst performing currency in 2014, no, your friends in 2024, 2023, no, and then as at April, according to Bloomberg, Ghana currency, no, now the best performing currency in the whole of the world. Because now sustaining gains to a point and ya dey babedru ba bi ejira ya atimi stabilize ejina 10 point something actually say indeed nema asase a ekoye. And you see what kind about MPP boycotting and as for them. Yes, because democracy na ya practice and obia our right to boycott parliamentary proceedings whatever. But you see politics I evolve to a point and my culture say no citizens no more form no more hair no. Do now crack politics as a champ people on the stage.
Yeah, sure.
And it's a person who stages some of these things. You must make sure say adena way no reason is on your side. You have proper justification. And someone MPP for can say do boycott of parliament. Among for to abamo mo so omon kwatena on kwahye mra ne say yebi yakoto abawo abelekuma and there was a scaffold. And a buying and shame, so a buying young shame for that particular reason, you know, a month and a whole tier budget. That is good. That is good because we all know on certain terms, I condemn what happened at Abilikuma. But where we've got into your democracy, grew to a democracy, some year better, now you say macho mind and as for taking stage here, Brahman for and as for I condemn that particular thing unreservedly. And even called on the IGP. We even called the IGP out, said there was a security failure.
Yeah, sure.
But it's not as if nothing is being done. Now, the police at the official statement about one thing says some individuals have been picked. We'll do some more investigation. The perpetrators in this particular act will be brought to book. The MPP picks this particular thing as a justification. Say, among court. That may be so. Say, you see, he who comes into equity
must come with clean hands.
These jokers who left Parliament a few days ago were the very people who supervised over Techiman when people were shot and killed. Not even a single person had the sense of decency. Catch a buying and not to say your mama buying say, Omunya investigation. Nipa no muko mo Techiman no mo yamwa, and now no mudo mu nebusian for. Ablekuma yanku obiao. In this case, people were shot. Yako Ayawaso West Wagon.
Yeah.
NP Sam George Yabona sum Yabua Manfo minimum branch Yabakwa Yabona and Naya say Oko Eastern Regional. Your friend saying you're this orthopedic, your friend saying surgery and one in the air a branch and I say I'm telling you till now Obian who are taking care of the gentleman. JB Otiase. I'll give you his detail. Naya say or Shadem Besin there.
As a result of Ayawaso.
Yes.
Oh, you shall be nice. So,
yes.
Yeah.
JB, the same guy.
Yes.
Yeah, the same guy.
These people could not say, yeah, buying it because sentiment no more expressing and no. You free so these are your friends are reasonable human beings. It doesn't matter when it happens, you know. Sorry, I can say it. These people were beaten, some were assaulted, some were maimed. Obia nya that sense of decency and kasa yem investigation na yem bring anybody through press and international bodies never me set up a commission your friends a commission of way set here we had the white paper come our president and he trashed the paper and that paper was consigned to the dustbin in the Jubilee House. Nobody raised the finger on it. The justification was that Sam George provoked and it ended there. At the end of the day, we aren't bandits and criminals. But nobody was able to condemn those things. And I mean, I blame those who received that particular petition. Because the chief of staff and other people were not supposed to even avail themselves.
The chief of staff, the deputy chief of staff, that is stand up.
Yes. And they shouldn't have entertained that at all. The reason is that day the president was supposed to be in the house to read the budget. Constitution, reading the budget in the president on behalf of. But I'm saying, oh, you're busy. I own to mean continue or dedicated finance minister. Yeah. So finance minister read the budget. Robert said, I am reading this statement on behalf of the president. Yes, so all things being equal, the president is supposed to be in the house reading the budget. And the president obviously you assume that the chief of staff and other people will have to follow him. Yeah. And the boycott of parliament. That was why I'm telling you that they shouldn't have entertained those things. These people, when it comes to violence, and then for Nipo, and another election, what is the decency to stand in parliament? I find a mark and police in the edition and
that is my worry.
We don't say these things to justify some of these things, but what I'm saying is that what happened it's not as if nothing is being done.
And even Pablo, a send off.
Yes.
You shoot in the car.
So when he who comes into equity must come with clean hands. Yeah. You don't use some of the flimsy excuses when something is being done to justify say men call parliament. Now me the entire parliament or one committee here. Some now more back and they knew what was going to happen. Are you aware say IMF seek now more disburse the money no. The last trench now said the last bite one trench you know. About talk Ghana for your account on the 1st of January. Oh yes. Oh yes. JB, are you Sikana ya 300 and something million or transfer to Ghana Cedar? Ubenya 4.1 billion thereabout. I am telling you, sir, from 1st of January to 7th of January, not even one seed in a car account on some Mokofie.
Baby, what's it?
I am saying, sir, IMF Sikana more transfer the Ghana account to my Bank of Ghana account on the 1st of January. from 1st of January to say hand it over to President Mahama on the 7th.
I can't 6 days, Mama.
6 days in the everything. The finance minister mentioned it.
Yeah.
Not even one city and a come. And these jokers today have the infantry to tell Ghana for us. Say within 6 months and they love Ghana more than Obia. Some of us have been very consistent. Our position has always been the same. So you bet to me it doesn't matter where it happens. But mono niema no kwabone no obia winyan san sore nkasa niema e koso e the bone because who can't now we are consistent. Who can't nipa will take you serious. Oh, their position has always been consistent. Yatsena kroma ma yaku nipa ma wobu ani aguso ya buru ebinom apire ebinom ne nasefo ye chesi a journalist do say na yan chesi obo kroma say it got to a point Manasseh had to flee from this country.
Yeah. And
several other journalists yanti kroma na ameswale nasefo ye kuku omo nasefo no MP shane dem yekobu ni komu ku ne nasefo no be sin ne when I yachena about those things. You understand? So I am saying say politics na ye no we must not think say at this time no we can sway emotions. We can manipulate people's emotion. No. The only thing you can use to manipulate people is reasoning and a fine way, logic and some other kind. That is the only thing I'm Ghana for. I do what she. But 1990 politics, 1992 politics. Na mena nani na ya womi to musa kind of ensemuno. I will not buy conviction for you. So oh yeah, they are making sure that they now is grounded on something substantial because in the Ghana you know what they want to know. I heard the currency today. Or had the economic space, or has had the near Mexico, and how confidence is once again returned. Say, Nipana yedi omoka ukroman, yet bilateral with creditors, and then they are willing to come in. I want to Ghana for signing MOU. Finance Minister Hente said in the coming days, France, sign it, and several other. I won't agree, say, on the mere chance.
But France last week, France
has been
$90 million.
Exactly. So some of these spaces, Nina said there is some confidence that is returning home. I'm a man for Benya Didier, Ayasa Niamano. So Niama when a Ghana for Hesabia home, Harababayu, not Ghana for Yason Faso, because one of the major things I think is all kind of President Mahama, I think about Ghana for it doesn't matter where you are, that big push agenda no day by no. The road infrastructure aspect of it, you know. The gentleman has said deliberately identify all the major corridors in this country. Or making sure say oil revenue na over the years he's referencing that particular revenue. Now what channel towards that particular road and do say ya or Kumasi to your friend saying Accra to Kumasi
road, yeah.
A 3-lane expressway, no. Say people are there doing the feasibility studies. Really? September, oh yes, they will finish.
From 1992,
yes.
96.
Yes, that is why Meno duty here on every day just to be on them. Said they will do that particular thing.
Enra da. I question kusi woja so mo bank rent. 16.
Yes. Because I find it
Lady Baku can walk issue the invitation card of Abbey where this Saturday.
Yes.
I mean some of these
offer kindness from Kumasi to Brekum to Drobo to Sampa, from Drobo, Quine, Faso, Kofamea, maybe I'm for the nose to Kwamse Chrome, that kind of kindness in Yina. A quine say, these are major roads. I think some of this infrastructure should target now making sure the people of this country will have benefit because natural resource so when a target some of these things are Ghana for being some faso now for young sign quiet nim kase you're building railway I don't see the reason why you cannot wake up a day go to Tamale and return. We should be able to create a system. I bet Yama Ghana new with that plane, no? But Yako Tamale are returning, and it is possible.
Sky train or say it was.
They are not from crying, Libby.
Sky train, no, they
are not from crying, so I think that these are some of the things that we need to do because me motivation, my dear, Ghana, and sorry.
Okay.
Na nneema mu behin hayamano. The ope obetimi ato, the ohia ne nsabeka. Now government must also focus on job creation. Job creation is very important.
We have about
I can say me we say the budget just a bit. I say more na you see the no appreciate. Dollar ni depreciate no. And then na ka ho bi ntina self finance minister ka say
reduction
6 months ni your debt no eswate base 114 billion because say dollar number 16 17 na say western debt esne one kasa your domestic debt na it means say cities na wo kan bomu e de akwakotua western debt wo per dollars no eno so dey add drop it and when you na ka ho bi ntina your debt but seriously I was say NDC aban Dr. Kesa to forcing economic management team any Bank of Ghana governor I was say say minya hu say dey na
no say obonya nsate
say yenya hu but well say
microphone be good nti ukwate kura
we projections IMF demand ye na say from 61 your friends say na drop it to 43 that is all my yade they are cutting unnecessary expenditure and then see the now appreciate it. Now they say number 43%. I just say seriously, your debt to GDP.
Quick one, and I think that we must also go the Nigeria way. Nigeria upping foreign borrowing to 30% and domestic 70 because the very moment that you borrow more from outside, no whenever there are fluctuations in the currency are affected and you're more capping in such a way that foreign borrowing cannot exceed 30%. That way, so I think that's a Ghana for it. Me, I did not borrowing or come from
because the last year the external debt no borrowing 61%.
I said they were borrowing recklessly. So I think that
Lucius, remember you share the accountability series or I don't know. Me name say be someone accountability series. Enra, Attorney General. I mean to me, Kasane Yadoso. I mean Kasane Yadoso. You have been given that mandate to work, prosecute people, take them before the law and let the law deal with them because the law is the law. Is the law. Dear the Kasan.
Give me that say. Me all Canada, I think say Ghana ni bia beka say udika say obeka say bia kasano ya doso na me no de meka say once a bedi mandate no amaye no so obi e wo ho a wa diska na say yen nipa no yen timi retrieve iska no na nipa no so say who be here say nka odam na onama Ghana for be disappointed because one of the reasons and I mean can say one of the main reasons in here Ghana for eto aba edema NDC any president mama eye sa corruption na ekoso NPP amamu no enti no even hwe say wutie finance minister na no budget na already na o chese ghost names nko a 114,000 ghost names
yeah
what you say 114,000 ghost names na ono kra de o sani chemu mienu o ka say o party bi ono no efre no separated staff separated staff no ye enkrofo bi a mekan wawu enso still ni pain begusutua obi nso wo ho no ma ba yinadi obi also akotena bruchi enso still ogusoje wahu no ono no odi saa eno no nyina bom ye no say separated staff eno no so nko ano 53,000 enti se obefa 114,000 plus 53,000 o chese o man no boka about 150 million Ghana cedis. Watch us here. Enti ene no se yaba behu se bibi se ewo ho no ma. Megidie se eni nchi a mandate no ye den ewo ho.
Exactly.
Watch us here. Enti no sane e bi to say finance minister kan ono no de ka say badi ka ye audit. Eden ma odi hu we say no. Na bebesen aye biem. Na ba e say be yi free nu nyina no. Ba yi afrim. Enti no last minute na ha kan say NPP for ade ba ko pa na e wo ba no eye say NDC for e corrupt na se be kan wi a be ma evidence a eche nkrofobia ba chi be den edi bagu what you say se be kan sa wi a wo NDC ni no wo the evidence say wa kwachi NPP ni bi atum because President Kufo efri so no President Mills eba nyame mfa ne kransi yi on dey care say opasumdwe what you say
obi abogana
one dia la opasumdwe nti ema wantimi anye den anchi obia ne president mama ebetoa so wahu enti ene no to men can equalization for because obia disca gemi what you say sika no won feel say won say kana say ebia o asseta say ntia ayi of friends say ye declare asset no o asset bia wo say ye na edisia na e say ye say hu behia say udam a say hu utimi den utim dam e ma ne yi enti no me mesre say attorney general me say president mama jinidi in the first place when giving me anko appoint no once our appoint no nko ade che say o gidie den e woni mu and those are you know offering saying dimensions na SNK team de hwe yesika sem say betimi aden agina na say obi emu ye mfa so no kame akoya ti say Ghana for enya hu any fruit bia obemu
just imagine
ebi ye ayi offering say kisia jaben sector ho na fe simple
special prosecutor
special prosecutor on the side ho no from the time abesete up besi sabre nyina no akoya ayi kasa na ti say ne ayi na wo kan no
talk show
what you say eba sa eboa wahu and aban so there our fine lawyers no nyina e wo honom a bosumi bia no betua beka ntimi se me feel say ebria so Ghana for epese behu action what you say ha ntwe de
Nana
special prosecutor
yeah because me
and no say mo obegina ho be kekan yi
yeah
won to me galamse o say de benyu o medi kan action ekipi na mo release no enti say we gather enough evidence afani ko gina court this too much yi ochina na eji unkwa na unim kasa ana unkwa na atibrofo ana wachia no aba bepu wa be wiwe here na de agu hanu nyewe na Ghana fo hia and then medical yakasa JB President Mahama big push agenda here where yi some regions ni constituencies or say a road infrastructure road you about construction babekosi by the time omo be ye no be wie ne dada ne nyina ase de Ghana fo hia accountability de Ghana fo gina so to abadema NDC pa kese pa accountability where me fa people ya wo story ya wa aziload wa ya we ended ba ko da hanu yi
oh e ho de krono
so
oh e ho de krono
na ba ko da hai de ama Ghana atete apansama ama Ghana seye ema Ghana chese eye basa wo man no esum ka bisibu nkamfa wo man no so eye krono eye corruption ye won krofobia ye de adwuma hye wo mo nsa na wo madwuma wo mo ye me ba ye meti se wo ne ayi Ivan mo ba ko bia odam
yeah Norbert Boboshi
aha mo kana sam say akasefo ne ti America akasefo ne nam ho wo mo ma bokro no akase ebragi dwo wo manuma mo hwe governor and establishing so that so to there be that man I say one day mo be pick no current Nigeria president Tinubu
yeah
Tinubu ba ya Nigeria Central Bank ne governor omo che no omo chini ni ko hye mu be 7 months and san omo release na starting night the court enu kwa ni ye ka Ghana ye debt to GDP ani ye ka no na Nigeria de enu ba bi sa o inflation ye de shoot ye because of Central Bank of Ghana governor says he can wo twa within 2 years no over 80 billion what print skagum ni nyina ka ho bi ntina ye nya inflation shoot to ko be say 54 that time no
small administrative one Bank of Ghana it's me I spent over 222 million Ghana cedis and the scanner you yet one more say that investigations now what these people are still there
yes sure that time no yeah inflation do 54% to na Nigeria there number say 28%. Tinubu bomb say in decades Nigeria nya sa inflation ni bi da say what say one inflation it me do 28%. Enti omo chema ni shemu 7 months but mo ba beto papa wait ya say where your friend is akwari ajapa ebuko ni fie device our set full room and our setting devices ahodo a just computers in ma what dey monitor Bank of Ghana.
Can you imagine this?
What Otifie nyina what monitor Bank of Ghana. Otifie nyina wo free Bank of Ghana akono. Bank of Ghana boxes so mu lodu sika gu mu no a mo kwam kotu bi woni fie na. Wono ka kire wo mo se ne niema.
Or the packing
What the packing niema and what dey do begu fie.
Some boxes dey fan packing niema. E sika dey packing.
E sika. aside no back cars and we use to a Bank of Ghana nyina no Japan e kai me boa oboa no so boa o se cars ni nyina agu ni fie cars ni nyina agu ni fie omo twe cars ni de call say national security na ayi instruction ba say omo san fa cars ni nko back omo sa cars ni na o ka cars na nya cars ketua o ye ka cars wo se bro be say 5 ni nyina agu papa ni fie egu ho no mo ye dey o te ho no mo ene ye gyan no na dwuma wo ye a central bank the governor no e de aho kire e de sikahye e de wo hia ni nyina aka wo binti na senior citizens wo Ghana eti gu monte so anu wo mu subobena na nkrofo eti hwiche mu aye twi wom but what Ghana na de eche na wato ni general ati she nsi to di ayi tire ti mu minimum na wo ye de tietie ni paso boa yesi ni na Ghana for to abade ma mu ana sa de eche wo me ye de bia e de update prosecute the person.
Simple.
Because nipa na dwuma na wo ye no e de aho kire e de nipa wu woni kanofori atakabo mu nipa wu wo Ghana ha sei wo mo policies programs ni e mo ye e nipa wu wo Ghana ha sei chema wu ntumi na no ba update ada e fanya dey chema wu ntumi ekeka gold woni tata gold boss woni radio stations chema wu ntumi ka che Ghana ni so ye governor wo ye sika no ye billionaire mansions ahodo palace and wo sis wo Ghana ha sei no what to go that say so to toy ade amankrofo mo chi ni ko she mu 2 days and we release no wo be my update ye dey prosecute them se mu ntimi nya mo kama no ntina mo de ye hu ni say mo de ja some yes politicians mo ye anuafo ni ye fa ne sa na ye ene se ma ka kan mo ba ye kwabradofo na ase na kwabradofo ma gi mu 60% anyway de wo so agege na wo hefa na asset na wo se na ban ne fa e wo hefa JB ya tra sa stages we say ya politicians e de ye enam wo no akwanfo akwantanta sika e ba wo man futo mu se mu even 30% across the NPP government e your madwen so be invest wo Ghana fo aye kwato abade ma wo mu a kanya nsen ka Ghana fo brese no.
Very well. Before some member Ivan Honomo no Lucius message bi wo ha ye fro bi Fuseni Abubakar o say JB tell Lucius, his former PPP party deputy organizer, Sunyani East constituency, is watching him live from the United Kingdom because I could not stay in Ghana during this hardship time. And tell him, wish him all my best regards. Graham. Who do you know?
Graham. I mean,
also on the ultimate time to a quarter bush. Who gets a hand of
JB.
Yeah.
I think, sir, ya kotu abano wa hu. Makacho say oko na democracy si ho a and say aban si ho a and if there is any regime it will be wrong for you to think say Abano is in place because our soldier for our police for our hwan omo tuo omo no mo man ho ban we ya sad and won't politics and governance I say the establishment anywhere under a democratic sector bia no ade e bo ho ban e trust and confidence as citizens e repose in that establishment. The very moment that trust and confidence is withdrawn, the establishment becomes shaky.
Yeah.
Obekaya, Sri Lanka. President, you know, Nipa boom sorry, no soldier for couldn't stop them.
Prime Minister Kocaine.
Ghana, unfortunately, yet the Jubilee House, you have a BSc. Sagana force or say you we are marching to the Jubilee House. We are fine, we Ghana.
Of course, yeah.
We are fine, you run away. So you must, at any point in time, manage the trust and confidence and make sure that people don't lose trust in the institution called democracy. Because Ebasa and a day amaneba, my culture around the sub-region. In recent times, we've seen countries are almost swapping coup d'etat for almost swapping democracy for coup d'etat. Ghana for the like your minor train when almost half your friends military junta. Ghana is not immune from this. In recent time, Akufo-Addo Tisha no din in Semuni, Ekaka Krebi, and Ghana for Nka Yenyaku has say people are even boldly on TV saying say coup a better than because they're not yet tehono, na governance, na democracy. It was more or less like a Ponzi scheme that was being spearheaded by some unwitty criminals who felt say you too mean to so at this point we nya that massive win for President Mahama say Ghana for became so much convinced that acrophobia for yesika and for that matter I am going to vote for them to account for their crimes And that was the motivation man for the Kokotuaba. So at this point, Kasadodo Bienihua, ebe put Ghana for off that particular way until they see people in jail.
Exactly.
Kasadodo Bienihua, Obeya. Ebema Ghana for I give up said no because my catchers adia yapa ne say nipa onim nyansa ewia no de to me atwa ne ho ahia you can't do anything about it, and that is what these people did to us. The evidence was quite clear. Omo no my catchers said they were unwitting criminals. We are no movie no cry no, they couldn't even hide it. Omu wi na ade che na da bonten omu wi o chena ade che na da bonten kromfo nyansa for be na be wi ade che che. You see, so these were unwitting criminals, unintelligent, and I am saying say this is the time akasadodo bien who betime justify that particular thing. So Attorney General should start speaking with prosecution.
That's only the point.
Me, I am somebody I've always advocated say yes, in governance there must be a flow of communication. Yes, it's very, very important. But you see, these are a different realm altogether when it comes to the Attorney General, prosecution, those things. These are sensitive realms. The only language, the only press conference you can do is somebody is standing prosecution and the person has been convicted. That is the only press conference Ghana for tears here. And there are a lot of people at this time, is if care is not taken, there is goodwill on President Muhammad's side because economically Ghana is on good footing. The president is doing a lot of great things, but there is one thing. Ghana for the prosecution and how safe we can counter some of these things. Now, no, you will expect clearly certain definitive statement to be will be given and clear this whole thing. Because there are people on social media speculating, oh, I buy na cotton Ghana, I'm Nigeria for then and so forth. These are people making their own news. You can't control it. So it is you. And I would just spell all this nonsense. What I say now, what's national? We don't say anything. Then it gives credence. Nipati or the back. And I'm a catcher say I buy governance in the editor. I buy sometimes I say hardcore nipa evidence or a perception a key.
Oh, of course.
Or not continue in a ton of dreamer. That is what they preach. And then you must always move in to dispel and distill some of these things. There will be clarity. But my catcher say in governance, you must never create a vacuum. The very moment you create a space, people will fail it for you. What they fail with it, you can't control it. It is either propaganda, necessary because one hour jai amana existe. What I say? And I think say Attorney General, what people Ghana for person who say nipa no muwia yesika di yesika no. We want to see them facing prosecution. Hey, Opa, you can't turn west. You can't. There is nothing that me am tell you can't say anything to convince me.
But if what me anya kukudro, say what you want to me. Edna Kwakotum, ya granting the bill. What is preventing you so that the court the following day?
No, I know.
What is the essence of the fast track high court?
I understand, sir. There be none on make us your friends saying the criminal your friends saying prosecution regime is not always doesn't always align with public sentiment and emotions and as for because
this is nothing to do with public
sentiment. First no more say Chief Justice wo honoma justice tokonu wo honoma say ankofo we do am court wan hwe ayenu baabi because onu na be judges and then fortunately for you or unfortunately for NPP ma suspend no acting Chief Justice aduma wo ye more than
you see the point is that obi to say kwesi yantechi na now do me echi no and some omoko granting the bill, right? So now on court, enko bebia enko kasebia because of some way ABCDT, and the man no. And as I say, what find who dia? What can I say? So what was the essence of the arrest?
So my point is
the same thing happening to now. To me, granting the bill.
And the JB so what's the essence of say a be prosecute you do form?
No, that. Say,
what's the essence of
Attorney General is telling us to say only interest will case in the granted, if you don't have any interest, you drop it. But on China man do latter day, it be at the 3rd year in your administration. Now for now all pro who so or the near court. Now court this so shed time near delay diversionary tactics near the same year by so delay tactics now judges for be so with their those ones are madness. So the country cannot be governed like this.
Yes, it's no mobile no ma drop no. Judge for motnas no. O ma fa ho aye pa. I'm telling you.
That is the point.
So police said we are going no mu ni sa cases ni nyina o ma ye judges so motina cases so o ma ya de for because of those cases.
So me case ni say in as much as you cannot align criminal prosecutions with public sentiment in as it doesn't mean the public will shut up. Always in they will be in an eager stance expecting something. So government must also make sure say how many times that we here to gather evidence to start because Obi expecting say by now we have say won't miss prosecution as starting.
That's only the point. That is what I'm talking about.
And National Service Secretariat almost kind of something has started. Yes, but yesterday he comes back to say it's a new evidence. You see, as some no cost now we need new evidence. You can always amend your charge sheet, present new evidence. You see, we must do things to sustain trust. Because we are sitting on a very narrow thread where people think, oh, the NDC MPP, oh, that is the kind of impression you need to do away with some of these things. Because the crimes that these guys have committed in this country against the state, richer overnight. And in doing so, no. And we've lived in a country where people have been jailed for willfully causing financial loss to the state. And today, people are foolishly, they've caused financial loss to the state. So jailing them will be so easy, you understand? So I think that you see, the Attorney General must up the games in now making sure say prosecution is what Ghanaians want to see. Anything beyond that, Ghana will not take it serious. So, Enra, I posted one of his videos, one of my social handles. Now, Oko comment and I say, it's the way Ghanaians feel.
Of course,
they don't care about the press conference. They want to see prosecution because how come somebody has been granted bail for the past bear? To me, how many
now every day I say for whom bet the CID for Koyoku.
Yeah, you may be gathering evidence, but evidence you can start and then you see.
You don't have any evidence. What was the basis of the arrest?
And yes, 6 months. Kasano ya doso. Eduru ebina Ghana for Bambua. Then people claw back. Oh no. You must be smart. Yes. Criminal prosecution take time. You must be very meticulous in gathering evidence. You must stand the test of prosecution in court. Evidential value high, but you must enter public trust and confidence at the same time must be sustained.
Yeah.
And that was more important than any other thing. We are not Ghana. We say Akufo-Addo abayeno. Eduru we na Ghana feel I say. There is nothing you do about Ghana for. So I think we need to take a cue from this particular thing and government making sure say. Obian kase ko which hanti obi obian kase nipa mfa asem koto obi so na channel na mmom omo si omo bo e de omo nsa bo man sikam etimi toto estate ahodo kwabra na etimi ko gina estate na wa kan dan 26 abomu ntua kama me na bank atua na nansefo no what I say, there are accomplices and other people. We cannot do this. National Service Secretariat kwabra na eti be na ye de amamfo Ghana card e creative way and ye tua ye hoka a school for na. And I said, when we are national service,
the personnel for
we know, not Lord of Fame, quantity can or demo, and 500 Ghana is Sika.
Na kwabrani afedi akọ invest
na kwabrani wa akọ invest kwa keke wasan ade aye collateral
loan.
You can do this thing.
Treasure bills
na software ka kire nse ono na omusika ti na Ghana ni sika ntino ono bo Ghana mo sam hunu we na yetete sa nnema cathedral issue no me say asofo no mo ka ho no they must prosecute all of them. What is this? I think say anya sa nnema we na say asa nnema na confidence no chance slip biema. It will rob any other thing the president is doing. Because on the other side, my culture, there are a lot of good things happening.
Yeah.
But because of this particular thing, you know, so
yeah.
one to me and because and then you cannot think that Ghana for a Galabo anymore. Trust me, there is nothing you can do to convince them. All that they want to do is prosecution. So I am challenging the Attorney General. I've said it before. Say, narrative, twisting, talking, explanation as if no, we don't care. Go and prosecute people, and that is the only message Ghana for tears here. But now 4 years, 8 years, people massacre and doing so. No, you also want those in this government to say. This is the fate that await you. Yeah, and then Lumba would have a month for trying to now also the because so I think that is the message we must stand. And yes, the Ghanaian dream I wish for will never be realized.
But I say, my mom will be 1 minute if I wrap it up. So I'm starting free now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boko. JB, we MC a renew curfew no from 2 p.m. Not just say Sabi.
But you see, okay, Odeka.
Sabi. Enwanu ponche kwa nka omu ngude mu ntem saa. So but say ne yesi kwa do saving senior high school yetimi wrem kutututu okum nipa. I escalate here Ashanti region. Say no de yenim de beka biem. But as it's getting out of hands. Ya jinsemu ntimi de anope de me kanya se agufuo wom. Esan so obi ba ko school, ni abore school, ni akwa kokunu a. Se wuti nipa no mfancha eden, but for how long? Ene ebeto akoso.
Osikia court no say or no need jurisdiction to hear those matters because Sansem all cano a part of a constitutional interpretation ama me krona asande akwakotam Supreme Court. Enti omudi ho asema enyeye. So these are the details my room fisa and some way echo Supreme Court ama Justice Amadou Tanko and the ruling by Emma relief ni injunction application ama many penyina obobotugu ye. One ten ho ase and or tam some they call High Court about to go and there is another one or they are called ECOWAS Court. And I'm a say court shopping and not judicial shopping, you should understand because there is one process ongoing at the same time. It's the same process because now no kind ECOWAS relieves Nana all seek to you, and you could see the similarities in the for the question. Maybe some want to say a constitutional process that has been set in motion based on a specific constitutional provision within the jurisdiction of this country. Can ECOWAS court direct a committee that is set in motion by the president pen executive powers now are a source from the constitution, can an ECOWAS court compel that particular president to say the constitutional process within the jurisdiction, no infraction be and obietimi akasa ya bumra way so there has been any abuse, never stopping from exercising the powers are. These are legitimate questions but abeka ho asebende and I'll walk you through the process obete the course. So I say the Human Rights Division of the Accra High Court has dismissed the judicial review application filed by the suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu, ruling that the case constituted an abuse of court process and that the court lacked jurisdiction to entertain it. Another makachono ruling no name some or the by in a court to not about to go because free say akwenya na obia wa the court no or abuse no and some or the other dying court in any minaka saman sama also the ruling delivered by Justice Kwame Amwakun, that is the judge Otana, marks the collapse of a second legal challenge by the suspended Chief Justice over the ongoing proceeding for her removal from office under Article 146 of the 1992 Constitution. Makacho already or then 70 court ama obo 70 to the Supreme Court 5-0 application and no seeking injunction and as for Sansem no was signed the Bima Siakodam Supreme Court to be Supreme Court Asiedu is so bad with the asem no and at Sandy Pakrona Siatama Semna for the party baby and they are called High Court and I'll just say mame won't to me abuse process no because Semna what they bah and they do cry yeah as a High Court and you knew who to me say constitution and explicit constitutional instruction president activity and some part of it quite Supreme Court no yeah akwenya by na yeah was a be haka say court in some na course no and a committee in jana juma ye nisa to me no until the judicial review no follow an earlier constitutional interpretation filed by the same Chief Justice at the Supreme Court, which is still pending. However, an injunction application she filed to halt the impeachment proceedings pending the outcome of the Supreme Court was previously dismissed. And the case na ye kan ho asem no filing no on the saying 9th of June 2025 all seeking some of the relief. Now court no bona asem na to agu no said the missy can categorize the relief and am no seeking into two. Back when you say part of it a constitute abuse of the judicial process and other part and also a lack of jurisdiction. And so judge no the reasoning behind ruling nearby and say in the ruling of the justice amoakono or categorize this said the into two and then relieve now or dismiss it based on say mamen abuse process no ebinie. One, the court found that several of the Chief Justice claims were already before the Supreme Court in the constitutional interpretation case. MacArthur said, we filed a case at the Supreme Court all per interpretation. Supreme Court nyantena asem so onyan hweye and I was near busa ansem na bi at the court. It is a court to catch and say we abuse judicial process now because Supreme Court ne say appeals court ne way court no enya Kocaine and China court ni nyina ye Ghana court is the same judiciary and you cannot asem obuto to the kwa no wabuwe pa asem no de wa ha na sign the kwa ye nyesa. But the mentality is this is a woman who still thinks that she's better than Obia, she's bigger than Obia, onimnyansa achen Obia and to betimi aye the upper and wodi, and the court today is telling her in the face that you cannot abuse the judicial process. And there was allegations that the committee was proceeding unlawfully due to the registry's failure to provide authenticated petition and responses. Or no nasama okan yina say ye and some na ekoso no ye modi nyina ntungu because President Mahama and as a committee no nyama any official petition bia any responses or respond ye no answer no kushia committee no officially no omunyam fa man but responses na no kano a response wa she worded those responses. And I'm a catch of a response and I also opened the ruling from the premier facie ruling by the your friend is saying Council of State in that particular process and the judicial process in the assembly. They were just assessing the competence of that particular petition to go beyond the threshold. It's just a matter of communicating to the president, whether in writing or whatever. Constitution is even silent on that. So you cannot say you mount that particular ruling a constitutive basis for the whole process to be annulled. It doesn't make sense. And I think that it's childish for Obi or Chief Justice to be making such a friend is saying infantile argument at this time. Clearly, you could see emotions are at play, not reasoning. And a request to prohibit the committee from continuing its work without those authenticated documents. And it was a committee, in fact, your friend is saying petition, the signatures, so yes, in science, mana. But don't forget that at the early stages of this whole thing, the woman complained to President Mahama, said, oh, here copies. Emma President Mahama, Emma and copies. Sa copies in the Nekudi, Paula Domochero, the next day. Yet mama, many years and a copy Paula Domochero. The following day, the gentleman was on TV talking about it. So, in some now, all Casa young man authenticated the president, Nan Casa actual, and the copies are brow. So, I don't know which kind of authenticated copies are all PBM. And again, allegations that the committee's composition was unlawful. Also, I can't say that event is in court and say Justice Ponamine Domilivone other people na ya setting or more up no San Crufono setting up no unconstitutional yamfa kwan papa so na say enye lawful menim your friend is saying sa to me no say constitution no the matter kono so onu mom no setting committee and constitution composition na nipa na ye menim be the anti original so all can say yamfa mra kwan so there the same way akokota my about for go atimi say nyansa ni nyina so bi anim, but she is doing these things to drag the entire process because nothing sensible and accord to timi hu ye in all these things are all bringing up. Okay, so Justice Amoakon held that the litigating these issues at the High Court while they are under active declaration by the Supreme Court amounted to duplicative litigation and an abuse of the court process. Said that Misikano and some ya Kocaine and already the same person now at the Kojino Supreme Court. Our Supreme Court ashada or Baba Kasa 7. I think that is in this August, yeah. And it doesn't make sense. Say Obabe Court and Adrian with the same issue. One Kasa Supreme Court. After all, the Supreme Court is bigger than this High Court. And this is what they call her. What is the point bringing these issues here? And Nunti and a judge in Nigina saw boss and send me to go here. And I'm a catch as a relief, no say a bill or her jurisdiction that the need the mandate to be able to grant some of them semna na maame no ka jurisdiction is very key. And it is only the power to your friend saying to hear that particular and answer make any decision, because some of the issues now at play here are bigger than this high where your friend saying court no free say or no need 2 means over has handsome way so enti on fan kwanim na so okasa on fan kwanim a unim baby a ye ka ho asem or say 1 request to nullify the committee settings on the basis that the Chief Justice was denied a fair hearing. One maame no say a high court no stop it committee na air court no say o mo munyo modwuma because your man a fair hearing. Fair hearing is vague. What constitutes fair hearing? In I don't know or no interpretation of what fair hearing means. And the high court to say maame I say we are waiting by there yen to maintain so ehwe mount enti fako wanim, because to say a constitutional committee that has been set in motion by president based on a constitutional article no yenye hu from so be a cost because say yakase yamfa 2 judges from high court from Supreme Court, now president kofa 2 judges from magistrate court were then constitutional, and you can raise a legal valid argument to say constitution and a composition, something has gone wrong. But you baby and you need to me say you bet me stop it that particular process no enti mami fa wasem no ka na fa ko wanim enti yetia enye allegations that the legal team was prevented from representing her during the proceedings. Menim baby esi ye or say abraye nsem no koso no ya man a legal team akwanya amana nko ama yanko representing no. I don't know how true this particular issue is, but utie nsem na koso na all the going now akohodu nyina na okwa according to way occur in the company of her lawyers, and the constitution also says you can decide to go there with your lawyers. You can decide not to. And as our lawyers and kwa betumi akọ, but say okọ na say one for lawyers and I don't know at what point in time and ordinary lawyers kọ committee na nima you see your man lawyers enko that one the Supreme Court will look at that particular issue na yehwe, but one of the nsema all kan ho asem. Again, claims of friends procedural breaches of the Constitution and the High Court civil rules. There be a yantama or the namkrum. The Constitution has been breached. Your friends saying civil procedures of the court, High Court, has also been breached. How, when, say you and I were not there. And some of these things, for me, I think that these are flimsy, childish excuses, because some of these things have gone through the court mailer. It could not even trigger any kind of way, any way beyond from the court. So these are make to believe kind of your friends sentiments and emotions are your packaging, the number your tone, just to win public sympathy, that kind of stuff. The core issues at hand, the woman here is not contesting any of these issues, but she's using so, because if you have a solid case, a solid defense, you will not be dabbling in these trivialities and wasting everybody's time. Me, yesi me kunipa na me si me nyam kunipa. Enya afei na me koka say na me lawyer na buy na first day no mo na nwuram. Defense me what about say there be nipa na nyam na me kun na evidence ya kire say nyam nie. That is what I will present dealing with the main case. But no, she's not even talking about case in idea to no. She's using processes, and nana mu tete me fa hu de husna that kind of ensem hunu no to regular out. She's not, your friends say, attending to any of the issues. Bear in mind. And I say the application for an order of certiorari to quash the committee's entire proceedings. And the asama okan yina say committee court and stop it and quash the entire process. Justice Ponamai don't believe voting as for committee no more anymore president acting based on Article 146. Your friend saying demands, High Court no montungu on terms a null and void because yam fa kwan papa so na ye and a court no say mame on you serious one. Ye high court na yete. Ye need jurisdiction, ye need to me. Say ye beka say committee ya seti a constitution ama ho kwan say president set up a committee. Now won't be provided a single basis justify say indeed at the body be akoso. Ama cultural in some way by ya Ghana Legal Council na why GBA sa ankrofo no be di omun sem hunu keka. Nobody was able to provide a solid legal justification or basis if we say indeed something that untoward has gone on, and for that particular reason the entire process should be nullified. Nothing, not even one. And it's the same argument and the course where now Mami Way has not been able to provide a single constitutional basis. And as a some infractions be a course one occasion that far. Enunti abaya grounds for the whole process to be nullified. So court and say mame we cannot yentimin so sanse we enti we so fa na fa ko wanim no minim ba bi o de beko. So last time I catch Chief Justice abaya said kraman ya bo na so station eno no nani so ay kra asa ukura ha no akopia ura ha no apia ha. And it is very embarrassing, said the Mexican, because in some of the court to do, no tie, or kind some of the rulings, not the reasoning behind the rulings. You begin to question, said Mami, was she really a judge to the point of becoming a Supreme Court judge? And how did she become a Supreme Court judge? Because there are certain basic things you already or challenge or question. Sometimes what it means that these are fundamentally flawed, because how can you say a provision that is expressive in the Constitution? I can say this hearing must be held in camera. There is a reason, and there is a reason behind it. Now, me Chief Justice and the Masama Bantino, yam fan to TV so no be heavy to even be bold enough and make such argument, crutch, say something is wrong somewhere, and it's the reason why I keep questioning. And I judge a free ride on a political affiliation alliances for they just push you through and you become. It's so embarrassing, because I was shocked when I heard said the woman was actually asking, because you see the thing she was asking, this is not something any court of the land can waive. The Supreme Court ain't no point to waive, because that is a constitutional way until say you amended the Constitution and sani yetimias sa hearing in camera no. So Supreme Court ain't need to me, and I say okay, Amadu Tanko JSC in the ruling or catch say me I met as a Supreme Court you need no point to vary a constitutional provision, because court and shamra a parliament in a shamra and a mrania shall we a constitution that hono. Only thing about me answer, yes, sir, your friend is saying, yeah, amendment. Now, me over court by catching them say, me young queen with TV swat, say me, yeah, me ankasa as a court, no crime. I can be removed because I breach your constitution. And this is a Chief Justice, that's my worry. So, people, what mutia, and sometimes it's not so obi time will be, you know, a person mining quay, but this is. Chief Justice na no other than suspended no within some kasiye wo kroman some kasiye, and these are basic argument oh yeah, you see certain signs say they are so, the argument are so gullible to the extent say you begin to wonder say how can a supposed legal luminary what rises to a point of becoming a Chief Justice will be making such basic and fundamental legal errors? But how can you say the court should waive say you need TV? So that is something I'm still trying to understand. When she knew at the time and she still knows, say the thing is an explicit constitutional provision that is inserted in the Constitution, and no court can vary those provisions. And over the years, we Chief Justice and one who say, oh, I dear way, I've always argued, say, I have my issues with the 1992 Constitution and the man can't show and Mesha see call for amendment and yen net. And the Abraham, many Chief Justice, me sanka all ye Chief Justice, same way my and ye rezi, even the whole process of removing the Chief Justice. Yeah, there are some of the arguments I will support. We need to amend the Constitution. By you, Quenya Kotanaho. you could have triggered some discussion and can you amend those provisions. Okay, we're not part of for you want the rules to be varied. No. You need to go through next time. Now say when this thing is over, then we can raise arguments and say these provisions in our constitution. Yes, I nipo nyansa okroma say. The biamaka. Your school no time has come. We need to make common sense and reasoning a subject as nipa. Because that's how PS. A lot of people are going through the school certificate in as for the sabaka. But adwenya eka ho a nipa ediye nipa neemano. It's highly missing, and I feel so. Sometimes I watch TV, you listen to people you respect so much, and send me from Onua now. You feel so wow. I become so embarrassed and so depressed. Looking at some of these things. That is why some of us have taken up on ourselves that we will do all that we can, the very best we could, to ensure, say, the system will be set, and the output to be positive. I be far-reaching impact and positive one on the lives of the people. Policies will be refined. Decisions will be backed by reasoning, logic, and common sense. And humanity will be the central theme in our quest to develop as a country. God bless our homeland, Ghana. My name is Ivan Kyei, Innocent One. Unyan subscribe here, subscribe to this channel. Be part of this intellectual community. Very soon we are hitting 30K. I say very soon we are hitting 30K. If you are not part of this YouTube family, subscribe and let's go.
Nketia na fi budget and so media budget review enya na otwe de na otwe and so issues are in unkomo mamitio.
Yeah, I think I mentioned what here for. Namenkase Galamsey for the first time in the history of this country, 2024. That was the first time I go into a major election, sir. Na economy and leading the discussion or the conversation leading up to the elections. Adiaba Kwana take the center stage so far as an election issues are related to Galamsey. The devastating impact and the Kwanya fast we had a situation UTAG declare strike over it, and several other institutions declare their intention to strike over some of these things. Ghana Medical Association issued statement, and several other outfitters. BI are very much concerned because we now had a level of degradation, environmental destruction, and some people were profiteering from those enterprises. And they didn't even see say I didn't wrong. And I know the sad aspect of it, and say yes, China for because they have the finance. China as a communist state. My culture says when an individual come into your country and as a private company, but men never say you are dealing with a private company. You are dealing with the whole communist state because state, state-owned enterprises. Everything you see, we are state-owned. So they send people out there. They have the backing. That is why a Chinese company can come here and engage in business at the amount of money signing hydro coin said the money was coming from the state and that's for any private entity, those kind of stuff. So these people have a lot of money and agreed into attach and more goose with the sense so to extent and not say so yet to about we not amount for expect to say all of a sudden the situation will change. And I think that for now we had a level of distraction over the years now. It's not something overnight, over 2 years I'll stop it. But I think we have some of the mitigating effort that has been set in motion by government and I'm fast or more dealing with the situation to a certain extent, and I think that is quite commending because I'm making it quite clear. Said those your friend is saying community mining now for AUSU as a guide, and as a modest guy say at the year some of these things now completely it has been overhauled. And why I bet you will legal defense license in the name of community mining today illegal, and those individuals have been banned from your friends engaging in any activities your friends are mining. And then proper procedures and omudi go so pesa we ya mine na maka say gold no form no we ya dan nipa betu enti the state will have to come out with systems ne ya fan say and share begu ho a you be make sure say people will do responsible mining any effect on the environment, because we cannot be mining in the water bodies or among for the chemicals, and as for some of the chemicals and among for using some are unregulated because your chemicals are better usually chemicals are in use. And some of these things are run into our river bodies. Fish and then as a form nipa de sene be kwa kwesa ne man and nsuo ne nase for no. So I know the day you realize say among for kidneys and me being at the hospital, I know say one of the major issues that Okroma has to do with kidney disease and liver disease in this kind of way because of nema yedi ekwayem ne nase for no. Unconsciously you carbon tiakoto na ba bedi, but you are buying poison without even knowing, all because of some of these things. So I think that the fight must be very aggressive. It doesn't matter. Sa niema way, ye ni NDC ni NPP. Now me, I don't care even if the vice president is doing it. As long as it is illegal, na ever devastating impact on the life of the people of this country. No, government have no other option than to ensure say they adopt a radical approach just to ensure say ye betimi tu sa de we yase. Say na yesika no. Some people free say oh MPP for na no mutu enti na ya ban na aba yenso aduru yeso. That is the kind of nonsense that I think we must stop. And yes, na ye give people free way. After the business to the best chance about your business. So the AC can this impact no any NDC, any MPP. At the end of the day, Ghana for no. And the various security agencies they are also doing. I think that there must be proper coordination before na. Meji you saw a lot of task force and as for we saw me free, and some people who are not even supposed to be going there no took advantage and they were even seizing gold and as for it's good said Abayama a central team said this team is responsible for making sure say they go run just to ensure that the proper things are done. Yes. I think that you see, we need to enhance this effort. Now you're managing very open, credible information must flow, because I can tell you that one of the areas that are buying society pressure or power, now your energy. Yes. Another power sector has a bit stabilized. Yes. Now everything is shifting into this mining illegal to the energy sector and mining sector and so on. I think that you see, on the other side, there has been a lot of goodwill on the side of President Mahama because the economically things have picked up. Hope is once again back on UTA media review now. Team said Nema as pick up. But you see, this is one side. The one where it will take away all the success because I had never come a Wagana for Akumaso. So I think it doesn't matter where Nippon or more where their political affiliation or alliances, the kind of association, then as for me, those things are inconsequential. The person who say we are able to protect your fence, your forest, and then as for them. And this is not mind-boggling. Say about Tenase President to be a forest reserve. There is a reason why we call it forest reserve. No, Yama man for munko to gold. So the decision to block all these avenues now, because I'm sure some of the forest now, forest reserve, and now won't mean and go where mining, you know. People have been blocked from going into those mining areas and the said the Mexicano say you're making sure that individuals na form you prosecute or more amana serve as a deterrent. There will always be enough incentive for people to go into some of these areas. I think that the prosecution, you can't once this prosecution must be very visible. Sabi a man for who said people are going to jail for doing some of these things. What is the motivation for China and free the Kromaba? And they know say we are Mrao Kroma, I am Ranich, we are foreigner. You have no business dealing with your friends saying a small scale mining. That's true. Yet these people are doing. Do you know say the interior minister and soldier for 17 gold bars? Yeah. Estimation price about 1.7 billion. If it's $1 million. One commodity Burkina Faso na for all these yes, all these things near my say Dabi $1.7 million so and think security for a year vigilant and care. What I say how lucrative this enterprise is. And me, I'm happy the gold board has come. And we see, Adeba is among for fun, some track. That is why I think that communication is very, very important. You see, IMF Sikana Yakwaji, who did for 3 good years. Yeah. Sasikano win him the door. 3 billion. Yeah. the Samejamfi outfit, the gold board, within 6 months has generated $5 billion. Which is more than Sikana IMF. Munya say Montana ha Munya say Munya Mamfuadi, Munya say Ansania Mam 3 billion. No. Within 6 months, this entity agency alone has generated 5 billion, which is more than the IMF they my what I say. And she say Bia Obian who how to do your things and so forth. A chira is one sector. Ye regulating it properly. Ebe benefit you be and yet high seed in as for stabilizing thanks to some of these things because forex air flow in as a forum. So we must not allow some of these foreign individuals in as a forum. Say near my mind. So I think the ecosono they need to ensure say you make it system very radical. Not any disincentive for beer uncle yes man because Galam say it doesn't matter baby agina where then people will not allow, people will not agree because the impact and the destruction is so heavy. So I think the government will have to activate in the vigilance, no making sure agencies and institutions that are involved, because why I say with the clearly you could see that the motivation is that and I didn't think a police for and that is the that is the whole motivation of the country because NPP for no mood to so so but this time the narrative is changing. We don't care whether you belong to NDC or NPP. The enemy say Galamsey no yes stop it, and that is the commitment the whole Ghana for say we are stopping Galamsey. Exactly what I say
because any man NPP before you nenyentina.
Yes,
we take advantage of the 2% repeated
the same thing. So yan to abasa ye be swapping individuals. Ye to abasa ye stop the negative way and echo. So I think people must bear. Now who said there are proper ways so person we are minding na obi ansi wo kwan go through the proper channels. Now you make sure say yeah. Now na China for na say for mama beje saa niema we nyina tin. So e dey le be ma foreign anya you find enough motivation so there was a time I mean video be in the middle of a forest and on Makoto filling station or Musha Mura no Mutu Galamsey. You see, these people will have a lot of motivation to do some of these things. I think, sir, I see I'm making a high risk venture. So going forward, I'm challenging, sir, prosecution should not be happening on the district level. Say a happen crana. We need to let people know say name a koso. Sabaya people who know say absumo si kwaye Galamsey or the prison. Sa man will send a loud message to people out there. And for me, if you're able to do some of these things, I bet you boyama I can't do now see a building because one of the best initiatives of President Mahama by what Teki has to do with say or setting up this gold board and individuals cannot go out there and sell gold. Gold be a person Tombia must go through a central pool. That is the the gold board now established. Gold board cotton gold na sikana own to be Jana Bontin or the bar and the money goes straight to Bank of Ghana. So you have enough forest. And that is why now we have Kwanya Faswa your forex cost within this short period over by 11 billion and as a forma, which means 2.7 billion, that means Nema Shasia a pick up. Nina and a comma in Oko Portness at Nema so Kota then yet impact in the piano.
And then Port to cry story about how I said the man is almost the first half of this year.
Okay.
January to June, no. Yeah, export over $13 billion.
Yes.
Almost say a year over 56% higher than last year first half.
Yes, never koye and cocoa board or nano head numbers as compared to their cost. So all the agents near my chassis near my chassis I'm telling Ghana for say we are not out of the woods yet, so there is no time to celebrate. But what two near team say near my within this short period. And let me come to the media budget review.
Before Obekono, Yemfa Galamsey update on is the Western Regional Police Commander, my friends is here now. I'm told on in the team a movie site was here.
Okay.
And the national security boss also are calling for reinforcement.
Okay.
So
okay.
I think reinforcement for police for says it's here now. On Hana clash of the what is here? Because Galamsey has to be more than we see in here. More security men and people. The situation is under control.
Yeah, but I think
from the national level.
I think that narrative go around the church. There is this kind of disconnection among various security agencies.
And yeah, disconnection as per se because one, what from Babia Etino, you know information power.
Okay.
Enra, so for being meeting come or say Nadam for being no me galamsey ni bi. And that galamsey is telling them say the local security for no eto de bia operations be kono na obi akoma tip off.
Okay.
And it's a ABA IGP Accra, National Security Coordinator Accra. Na opesi ehunu so no so ye adwuma. Say me mama adwuma na say mo ba ko ma tip off.
Or to get the job done.
Say me so me mama microphone fi Accra ko operations.
Yeah, so which means within the security there is a problem.
And now I think say the mining area no. The minister so SF fato no so no push security capos ni say at least every 3 months be an area reshuffle.
You change them. Yeah, that would be better.
Regional district ni nyina omanya reshuffle. Or the mining districts in communities and regions, you know. And yes, our party to the be an nipa who has some Canadian.
Yes.
But what is it?
Yeah. So I think and now we are Ghana now to a near. You see the signs once again hope return. Cause the last time Bettina Hannah have a conversation about the economy, no me catch how another outlook look so bleak out there. All the credible rating agencies out there, rated Ghana junk. We were knocked out of the offense in the commercial space. Ghana could not even go out there to say floating bond and I because your bobosia yam family yan sadia ka ebugu so. And the finance minister is back reporting to Ghana for say a katuchiri dia negu Ghana for so na ya kanam over bear 728 billion and over no. Because of how they've been able to manage the city well, Ekano, Eswati, about over 613 billion. And for me, that is very, 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 very important. I say Ghana for yes celebrating some of these things. A child say United the Yahushim, na yet me buani manage your currency well with all the factors and the variables. I can once a year. Ebe coming back to your friend saying Abuayina. Unim say IMF MI projection say in the next 10 years. As a Ghana for yet to meet your debt from your debt to your GDP, no, in the next 10 years, we should be able to reduce it to 45%.
Okay.
Within 6 months, we are now hovering around 43. So something that is supposed to be done in 10 years has been done within 6 months. And for me, that is phenomenal. Because a child said, the session near mana air cost within that short period, you know, because there was a timer. April na Ghana, your currency way was the best performing currency according to Bloomberg, the whole of the world.
Yeah.
A child says, Sanyama no kosa, a so all the yate nearman say yate cement is yate ways, you know, all because of some of these things that are coming up. You understand?
Yeah. And
inflation said and yes, you got to a point a Bank of Ghana governor that's sorry free need them man or prentisika. Ya koyama inflation could over by 54. Every another your foreign reserve na say for inflation na renewing. And if we are hovering around 13, when end of year projection Minister yeah 11 unia from 11 to your friend is saying 13 we almost there we can go back to the single digit inflation number President Melso Penso yetiminya sustaining then you see that people are really managing the economy with only the differences among kasa because I mind by a economic management team I'm for a title or more day. But you see, the signs are quite clear. And for me, I think that is very important. Maybe our videos by catch say bank like NIB, Agu, a bank can ADB, the same thing. Yeah. They were just the government decided to merge the two. Now, the government came back and told us, and they have recapitalized these banks with 400 million, billion, Ghana cedis.
Okay, so for your information on ADB made a profit. I make a profit of 230 million.
Exactly.
230 million.
Good.
This year.
Exactly.
Within 6 months.
Yes.
ADB.
Yes.
I Ghana there. I bind there. I make a profit of 230 million.
Yes. Nipa no minimum can they merge these two banks? I'm gonna buy one. Because nipa the seniboni team pose obegu all the local government willing because there was no sense in collapsing some of these enterprises. Come and catch up banks facing liquidity challenge. Even in America, about 2 years ago, about 4 banks, Republic, saying Signature and several other banks. And yeah, some of these challenges. And what they do is that quickly the state will move in or find a good buyer. Then you infuse capital, you save amount for Sikan and so forth. And that's exactly and NIB. Apart from this recapitalization, are you aware that buying shares? I want Nestle Ghana. We're pushing in over about 1.5 billion. We're pushing in to support it. And I just see push it. Your friend is saying, bond government a floating bond in there 1.5 billion. And in we are saying the Numa ni power over 900 workers and what save more and a deposited fund of about 6.1 billion and also what save. This is some of the smart way of doing things. In your sending a good bank and as a fuako. And the way a minority now some say Kwana was once in a hunty and a demonstration, a petition where sometimes and I say my culture, the NPP has still lost connection with the people of this country. They don't even know when to react and what to do at what point in time, because you see the reason why they left Parliament and they say, and your friend said there was basa ye ewo ablekuma, and see a buying until so baby be a on Montana Parliament. But these people are back to Parliament discussing the same thing. They are discussing the budget. You see how funny they are, and some of them it's not as if nothing is being done. IGP the statement about until some individuals have been arrested, and investigation is ongoing. Yet now these same jokers here more the way. I want to know what happened. People were shot dead. And yet, basa Nano elections here, they killed people. I also was wagon. I still fresh on our mind. You see, he who comes to equity must come with your friends clean hands. These people supervised over some of these things. It got to a point we even set up a committee, a president white paper to even give it a pass, or to baby Bianca. And you go through a pointer. I not try to do something about the Ekoswa. Then you say I'm boycotting Parliament. I'm now in your proceedings. Who cares? And I'm saying they could not sit there and listen because Nana Ekono, they could have done better. Unim say IMF Sikafana disbursement na Esenkeba. Aba hete Ghana account. Third trench, a hete Bank of Ghana account on the 1st of January. From 1st to 6th, I'll hand it over to President Mahama. Nasikano a zero account.
That's 4.5 billion Ghana.
Yes, within 6 days.
Within 6 days.
Yes.
So 1st to 6th January.
Yes.
On the 7th of January, President Mahama sees. So
yes.
4.5 billion.
Everything, not even a single city. You can ask the finance minister. Nothing. Over that's what he is answering way. You can sit down and listen. You understand? And again, look at the numbers, the statistics, everything returning back. We say, now man for a casa for more money. But okay track. But within these 6 months, has said the NMC turning out. You can point to actual figures and statistics just to give credence to that particular assertion. And these are quite clear. And all the rating agencies would declare Ghana junk, Are you aware that Moody's are rating Ghana higher? Now you buy a name, Fitch, Eba, your friends S&P, all of them. So when you do these things, I give you certain credit worthiness. You can return to the commercial space and become credible. So Bobo see now floating bond and then I say for no. So in a few years to come, I think that near my best pick ama. And you must say my challenge. Kroma young people pay Juma. All the foundations now buying LA to me pick it up. I'm sure and I'm convinced a bit me be a Numa. I'm a Ghana for any BIA. The manager home and within the big push as some kind. Or say Kumase Accra Road, it's going to be a brand new road, and yet old one and on rehabilitated and feasibility study is ongoing. Another minister of road give you an update to say. Express Road is going to be a brand new road. Or Mumba Bicha. That road will be a 3-lane road. Be 6. Accident ne the BIA renovate Kumasi Accra Road that particular thing ebe free ho. Na say resources na oil revenue na buying so or reference no directed to this big push way Onua, we are Ghanaian. It doesn't matter where you sit, where you live. See, here Kumasi Accra Road, they benefit from Sunyani. All the major corridor routes in the world, or target it, and wherever you are, you benefit. This is how I build it on my for a whole impact. And I think that so far, maybe in 6 months, say I buy no pa buy some cra. That's how we say we are anti-government. And I want say, John Mahama won't pen us some cra, won't pass over nima. The science out there, is something a Ghanaian can celebrate. You understand? Because the signs are quite positive. I actually clearly say something is being done. Within 6 months, some of these statistics in as if we go on. I'm sure that President Mahama no go on my no shocking. Oh yes, because how do you justify say this debt to GDP from 68.1 all of a sudden to 43 when the even IMF
Onua they are shocking.
Oh yes.
Onua mama.
Oh yes, oh yes, because
all banya no so obebre pa.
Oh,
he was very honest with us.
Yes, no okan so.
Yes.
Say you are right.
Say anything okan say.
Never pick it so fast.
And all ban okan say. your friend is saying Ghana for money honeymoon period be
Yeah.
okay
Yeah.
because they had a turbulent and I said the economy city and na expectation na. He didn't want to put pressure on himself.
I think the gold board now release,
Oh, a lot of them.
Yeah.
Any other.
Any prudent management.
Oh yes, I think that we
cutting
were
of costs on the money and then releasing.
And we were spending recklessly.
Yes.
And now the management has been very very regulated. Look at the size of government and now.
Yes.
Look at the Jubilee House. Nipa na paki omo. Yet me see cater pot. Yes, yeah, signboard. There is no portal. Look at the cathedral. Nipa no board members and to omoka allowances over 20,000 a month. It didn't make sense.
Let's even imagine every hour we are paying $15,000.
What I say?
Fun luxury for a president.
Yes, flying all over. So we are president. Yes, now Katis and Niema way. That is why they were accusing government. Say, oh, the numbers are good because you are not spending. But the gentleman read the budget,
Exactly.
You saw the spending and why.
I buy the almost 114 billion.
Yes.
And yes,
expenses are half of the year, more than 100 billion.
So we
per account on the buy.
With a budget projection, you spend almost half of it.
Yes.
But still, the numbers look good. You understand? Nina prudence. The numbers don't lie. You understand? So I think that is how we need to walk this particular lane. Sabaya, confidence and sleep it. Because now the investors are coming in as a phone. We have to do things in such a way, say. You bet me sustaining that trust and confidence because unia and check na Ghana for Abamobu quite few days ago people were preaching coup d'etat because they lost hope in democracy, democratic institutions, the individuals. But now that hope is back on. I think we must do everything to sustain this. Abang is there to serve their interests, not individuals are almost to serve their parochial selfish interests.
All right, my time in the kakra. Now I'm in Solak phoning. Come on, Solak Natural Clinic said nee. Kevin Taylor.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Radio Gold 90.5. Kevin Taylor, I'm going to be your co-host. My name is Ransford Kebwache.
Yes.
You're streaming live from the studios. You're on TV, you're on radio, you're on YouTube, all platforms live. Freunia, now you're Freunia. So Kevin Taylor and the Ghost team, we're live. This is the top afternoon show in Ghana. It's a surprise visit. I know Ransford himself is also surprised, but it's politics, it's social issues, it's political, it's general. And when you say the numbers will be running up right now.
Yes.
I don't know, I can't see the comments, but I'll be with Rubia because Kevin Taylor, Kogonzaba, show no, Astati. Do we have sponsors?
Yeah, sponsors.
No.
Sponsors in the Dawson.
Okay.
Over Dawson, sponsors in the Dawson. Furniture City. Furniture City, Ghana.
India papa.
Yeah, omo tuntom empa. Aha, tuntom kunya papa. So open kunya dia go office. And I say, yeah, I say as of we, as already demo. Yeah, the be restaurant I want. Furniture City Ghana so omo eso yasene. Then of course, NLE. National Lottery.
Okay.
Almost so one of our sponsors. MP is also one of our sponsors. MP the all kind of say Okoto Fango now face a Fango near we are. Who's a Fango do Abakoto? Me 200 na akwara bu 180.
Yeah.
Na or the 20 Ghana cedis in the call. Obetima report it. And as a Fango no cry no, the quality no team form.
Yeah.
Obetima report it. And our customer service bada. Obetima report it. Or any of our offices, regional offices, Greater Accra Jolu no more.
PC waha, PC herbal.
PC herbal.
I know about a year menstrual pains. We mu dwaw.
Yes.
E mo ayedin. Ubum sa na kwa. Hope say bibia ejina na so. Ransford menstrual pains and poor flow. Sebio and sheda emayi na sisi. I say ukwaso na mimi when him suffer so bufu. And so bufu here. Collection time dura. I say u the mo bi akoto. So betu so ntu o waist and back pains. Obo ha be so achachas no nya achacha sisi anyway male vitality and the original now so mosini bibi then and poor vision. If you want to make the brotherhood proud over say Ransford Kebwache producer Sabiga the area who pia na girls the brass that's ni na sa na koso and infections so the trust near there.
Okay so near trust near prostrate. Yeah, prostrate. It was a member no. You say after age 40 no. And so Timmy check prostrate. From 40 years ago, now prostrate now started enlarging. the prostrate issues. Oma Jihwamba Sabodi Krapen, 2024. West African, 7th edition West African Traditional and Alternative Medical Award. So, peace in the awardium, say, most promising prostrate disease treatment center of the year. Etiomo Madina, and a Tadi, Air Force Station Basic School. Okay. Eti almost so at the end now.
Solak Natural Clinic, almost so our system. We provide very good and quality health services. If you have any of these diseases, conditions, come to Solak Natural Clinic. Almost a drum the county bibidru krojin sebio ejina na so fertility problems or awo ho problems are okwa. My wife from back Pentecost with the dance here. Oh, Assemblies of God, will be able to come and Timo Onyame and so everything chronic white or gonorrhea. Sebio ebuha na wawunim yekochi so yekoyie na ebia okotene kakra na yarebia bem gono twi din the same babaso ye twi nika ai babaso producers babaso yawa odom titotruba no mo na piapia because also titi omo waist pains, joint pains, knee pains and back pains ni na so Solak Natural Clinic almost bit mabo poor sight we ni on shada hu ade you try dey with TV so we see we dey kohwe anase dey adjust on shada hu ni pa ogina so ye tutu menstrual pains and so se bi obunsa na emamu ayedin kakra no. They also have quality machines. ABF machines, laboratory machines. Papana Solak also very good at it. Body mass index machine to check fat in your body. Sebio obuha odidia onim se eduane krana odi no krampo no ebe masra de aba honam nim. Ni nyina ya dusua Solak mo omo machines a ugina so a. Machines bi o ha ugina so gigigigigi enane den angwa anase srade a ewo owedi nim nyina no. Liposuction yakotwe srade no ama 6 pack na ba anase waste no agina ho yie ene embai kire wakudu ansere we hu say o shepard na so on shepard na Solak de through their natural system and procedures no they will burn the fat without even having or touching or doing any surgery on you ninya all natural transport
mema wadro bia o de beko fusu men powder
sorry Solak no omo Accra kokumramrai yes close to Harvard Senior High School omo Kaswa Old Market second bus stop no omo Kaswa Old Market and ti omo say we do a gina ne from 0553932631 mami bobo subium I say sorry no 0553932631
we na so for the person we do tomorrow
020
adoba ko am de be ma de be ko fusu men powder na powder we say no unse member bi ho na o matin kanatiko be ma de at least from 4:30 to 5 no say utimi jira na so
omo amuta jina TV so sheshe suit enwumre no omo sa de na yomo
eti say utimi jira na so eti adoba ko a edi mema kaginam na di ensema mai na kaka sampa o ba se unya tenka fusu men powder ebio eboa obi want to no bad 30 seconds obe home to say do bitano no nyina moa na weak erection na early ejaculation yes e hono na oyiri yaduane na oti ho agosu ya wa majuo so ho enti o mantem na nyane yedim kwase okwa chimota Madina Tema Kaswa na Accra Central ebi hodum ti numbers ni 0244017097 and 0552812912.
You are still live on Radio Gold, Kamiaka Loud Silence TV, but it's the same. We are all our partners. Yeah. Loud Silence TV, local partners, Radio Gold 90.5 across the nation. Number one, when it comes to facts, any afternoon show there, Ransford Cable. In the mornings, you see Sena Dombo, right?
Yeah,
I got the name right.
Nombo.
Yeah. Takes over, starts from the morning. Yeah. Ads and bet to us, Anameboa.
So far, I'm saying
munya would say just now my band boys my band you better so you right now program lineup and in some way lot of people share me Kevin Taylor about Radio Good. There's a reason why I'm here tonight this afternoon Radio Good are one of the best radio stations in Ghana. You can partners with Loud Silence Radio. Make this on authority. The win of the NDC without Radio Good in Ghana and collaborating with Arsenal and Kenya. And these are some of the things we need to appreciate. The work you guys are doing here, you're tough. difficult. But for some reason, you have the listenership. The facts are here, you know, and that's the main reason why Ntim and them decided to come and have this conversation with you. Wow. I mean, call radio to be a radio be anywhere. I grant me interview. Me interview me a samai.
Say okay, so obehumi answer no.
Yeah, me catch say me who answer na me. Me for me being here, very very special to me. Very very important. I want people to know, say the collaboration between Radio Gold and a Loud Silence Media, no, it's very solid, and we are not letting it go.
Okay.
We want to take 10 seats from the Ashanti region and 10 more seats from the Eastern region. It will take dedication. It will take people who are ready and willing to speak truth.
I see.
You can have your reasons and your issues with us. Presentations are different.
And
Ransford, the way I would present it different from the way I present. But at the end of the day, the facts.
And
that's why I'm affiliated to Radio Gold.
I see.
Enti, me just a comment about
comment to do number.
Obi adi konkonsa
I'm up for the what job surprise. So ni or that mills. And wait a minute, me am from Mount. We obi wa person wa gasa ball.
All right.
So we got the be fadi.
Konkonsa ba 1.7 omu nyina ba yaw ping clips or say okay on Obi Nekasa Ransford Boachi Senadomo, all these guys are live. I think say it's because you guys are live right now. Ifo Yesuto, we just started, you are on time. Thank you very much. Ifo John Nana Andor, and so RKB, thank you for bringing Kevin into the studios. Harriet T. Cooper is also live on Radio Go tonight. This afternoon, sorry, RKB and KT. Bankers Senor Luis. I say wow. Ambulance Kesia Power Konaba. Michael Asma also live on Radio Gold. Simon Obina Nukunu is live on Radio Gold this afternoon. Kojo Diche also live in Bray.
Okay.
Israel Bruce. Tamaklo to shut up, and GM agrees to go to the third term. Who is he? Dr. Nyawo Tamaklo. What can we but the BCBC our problem. Any problem? Yeah. I can also see Adams also as a boss. Thank you very much, Adams, for being here, and I really appreciate you guys holding the fort. Simon Obina Nukunu is back again. Mo Jamal Gomez, Jandam Killer. We are killing Jandam. Yema Obia Space. Emma Sibio Ombicha Atro Enchegana. Uma Sanders is also live here on Radio Gold this afternoon. Penny Kobna Amwa, the Black Internet Jesus. Thank you very much, Penny Kobna, for being here tonight. Michael Asma is live here with Fire. Also, Albert MP, right now 1.5. And the numbers are going up. Very interesting, right? Nana, Dean, do you have numbers there? Do you have messages there?
Okay, messages will be now. Obiso Nyindi. We have a guy say
mama says park and I guess away.
As they say as AI now adoso. It Kevin tell upon a tick your is a Radio Go Studios.
I'm sorry Kevin Taylor. I sound go for Radio Go. Yeah, thank you very much. Kevin Taylor my live Radio Go. So okay.
Okay, so Ada Kwesi Emmanuel Francis fantastic Kevin. Danny Timin say KT more fire. Then Marcus Arthur the 1.9K already. Is here got 2.1. It also the other about then okay. Adebim the about Kevin is here. Wow. Said our ambulance and 17.
Yeah.
Also then the about Serenity McCarthy and so say hey Kevin, I love you like Fanta.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate this. I can also see Citizen Kujo KT, welcome, and GLC City Builders. Thank you very much. Veronica Autry is also live here. Where is you see? Move forward. Tony Echo Mills. Kujo Sheldon Davi. We are talking about national issues, important issues.
Yes.
Nyoma you see, Ransford. Yembreki Kakrawo. Comment no.
Yembreki. Okay.
Ayana, people are distracted a little bit, and we have to be focused.
And
everybody wants to be like you.
That's true.
And what you need to understand and say, and at this point, me a call. There's no need for me to argue with anybody.
Okay.
My job is to protect the president, protect the government, to help Ghanaians.
Okay.
If you think you can bring the NPP to power, do your best and bring the NPP to power.
Okay.
However we do it, any problem. If you don't like my style, it is my problem. If you think you have the best style, use that to bring your party to power. So with us, we are not in competition with anybody. Mourinho, Lodi, your body defense, no. Ona we hear goals no to qualify.
Yeah.
It proved to spectators no any our team say you can do something. Me, I keep telling you, don't be distracted by things people say. But so be so you say obe misinformia, obe disinformia. Don't let it slide. Okay. I will not let it slide.
Okay.
In fact, I don't have control over your editorial team. But me according, unless I don't see the jandam, I'll kill it.
The panel Casemina in the mono. Yes,
from 1992, ABC 2016.
Yes.
The Germany koyesa be this point.
That's true.
And a man for you every man be normal. You chantro na normal.
Yeah.
Obi to me can't some to president so no facts. Obi to me etna dem no mo kuku jandam no they are saying nipa. Today ofa bibia and I win a can we and I win a can we. As far as unkuta facts no there oh how. It's jandam no there it should not slide. The moment of more space, yeah, and I say yebe more space no. That is how they are built. And I'm talking about the NPP.
Okay.
I'm not going to sit here and I'm engineering my own say the make-up party for Biasem. Okay. A NPP. My show my boy is a surprise. Me guno. I will nullify it. 2028 me guno. Me catch on say enter Ashanti region. I will take power from there. Otumfo says to Nana Chanchen hina ba me do. Nana domi. And I'm so that's anti-mine.
No.
Yes. Me gu NPP no. Me know any omo adwene eye adwuma omo kan okre e be gu no.
E be gu party no.
Ade ba ko pere de betum de gu no. The facts.
Okay.
Protect the government with the facts.
Okay.
So person the NPP ba for facts no for bra.
Okay.
E born na ma share NPP for 2028 the party will go in exile. Omo ba biem.
But what is about me I say obi one will be contesting no. I am not the power man no. The fact that on the President Mahama contested last year elections, 2028 in a automatic. Say Mahama will hand over power.
2020, Mahama did not lose by 1.8 million votes.
I know there.
So nobody can sit and weigh their destiny on fan compare Mahama. No, it doesn't work in that way.
I see.
In 2020, can you say Mahama contested 2020 and will lose until 2028 to be winning? No. Mahama, check Mahama's numbers in 2020.
Yes.
Technically, Mahama won the elections. We all know. In the South Person, yes, our comparison now, check it, the number of people who rejected Bawumia and the number of people who rejected John Mahama in
2016.
2016.
Yes.
Now, Yambra Bedu 2020, how many people rejected Mahama? So the numbers kept dwindling. 2024, the gap is wide. So that argument there. Now, when I saw Omenya flag bearer there, flag bearer New York.
Okay, Mami Fawe one of the strong argument or strongest argument Omo can say the NDC will be presenting a new candidate which gives them the opportunity to also sail through Senus Watibi.
Yeah. It will give them the opportunity.
Yeah,
because NDC is powerful for But the NDC as a political party has principles they are working within.
I know they are.
John Mahama is the president of Ghana. John Mahama will be campaigning with Obia NDC for whom he say I was Orani.
Okay.
The NDC will be campaigning on John Mahama's record. Ghanaians are not going to be looking at individuals. Ghanaians are looking at the work you did for them. And he said, John Mahama, Mobua John Mahama na Oye Jumana. It does not matter who represents the NDC. I'm not even looking that far.
Okay.
I'm looking at what should be done today. When what is done today is right. When people are going to the ballot, they are not thinking about who is on the ballot. No. They look at the policies that is helping them.
Okay.
Kwenina or taking tampono. Farmer Service Center abana and the or no Otumi Ekoji seats.
Yes.
Abain to me buona money chadi fuso. The cooperative aba. I will say when you improve it on a brabono. Or per se NDC in the twaso.
Okay.
So it's not about an individual. And that is the mistake the NPP are making. Right now, the NPP as a political party, it is about individuals. It is about Bawumia.
Okay.
It is about Kennedy.
Okay.
The NDC is not about anybody. There are so many things that happens in the NPP, NDC Wincy. Under Asiedu Nketia, there are so many things I want to mean here or NDC. It should tell you the party is not about individuals.
Yes.
And to me, I'm not worried about who succeeds John Mahama or who doesn't succeed John Mahama. What I'm thinking about now, the priority is that John Mahama should deliver.
Okay.
When John Mahama delivers and we get to that point, we will cross that bridge. Anything I go Kumasi, I cross the bridge and I cross the lever. withdraw. So me, I don't care about anything now. What I care about is the 4 years. Yeah.
Policies, no.
Yeah.
Say about reflect ye now Ghana for and what all.
That's the most important thing.
And the first
Obi enu wako jina ballot. And also to a bar.
Yes.
Or say with them dabi ope BB ejina so. Anything we saw the change in 2024.
Yes.
The gap was wide. The NPP still don't understand. People are not voting because of where you are coming from, the tribe you are coming from, the religion you are part of. People are voting because they see something in you.
Yes.
And when I say I see something in Ransford, it is consistency.
Okay.
It is what you believe in.
Okay.
It is your track record. If I believe in that, anything that you are assuming, me a Christian, there's something that's making me a Christian. I'm
okay.
We are Muslim. So the principle, you don't have a problem. Yeah, that's all. And see, I transition in the NDC for Krano, they are not supposed to be worrying themselves right now about transition. They should deliver. When they deliver, transition will be easy for them. Let's get to the river. John Mahaman do 7 months, or do 8 months.
I feel next month.
Ain't Kaja being Mukranko Nyangwe. Ain't he say giddy any day?
Only 2 years old, too. What was it?
Wana
Unia.
Sebiga. Only 2 years old, too.
Only 2 years old, too.
Maternity.
So,
but like seriously, no. I think it's a Ghana for about 2 years, no.
Yes.
Obieno also no. But so far, last week we said MP before question, so me ya no. Mobile power bedding.
MPP ba power bedding.
Yeah, the power bedding.
But when you listen to them,
yeah,
they are telling us that Ghana for film. Ebio, sisi an omo kwatena se no. Omo realize say enema nko yenti no omo pae chawo yemfa chewom. Na ebi nsi
that be now them obaneti. And oba we so nye duane a onye.
Yes.
Oba no nyoman kitikiti be also yeso oba no onye. Oba foforo ba ya. Why ni nyina? Inti onja oba no be found there na obeye.
The question is
answer. Obeye because if you are talking about unemployment, this government is putting policies in place. And I share the mid-year budget.
Yes.
When you are talking about corruption, the government is taking steps. And the you can see realistically on the ground people are fighting Galamsey. You can see it. It is a tough battle. But you can see people, their will is there. What are you talking about? Inti so person about power. Share me the opposite of the power in the bay.
And don't go on.
Inti mo be dien. Untumi si school. NDC for statistics schools no muja.
Okay.
Untumi si regional hospital. NDC for they have opened it up. Media budget, more roads are going to be constructed. They have done it before. It is also tremendous. The opposite obeye metu mejina hakasama.
Okay.
It dey na mo obeye. Tell me.
Omutibi chirimu dia.
Tell me, ba omi o Kennedy whoever. MPP for munya platform na. Omo kanche Ghana for the pesi ni because the GDP is doing well now.
Yeah.
Eka daho your reserves are good now.
Yeah.
The dollar rate is good now.
Yeah.
We are talking about free SHS stable.
Yeah.
Kids are getting school. Basic education, it's working.
Yeah.
People are getting free tuition in the universities. People with disability are even being given free tuition. I'm talking about the first year students in universities, public universities.
Yes.
They are getting first year tuition free.
Yeah.
Now, at the end of John Mahamani and this Kaya Munya, yeah, it's MPP. Then I'm a person obey.
Question.
Yeah, they know. Into me, many NPP for your argument. Tell me what you want to do. Then I'll person here because there's nothing here. Over to my catch say NDC and Ntim to Abamau.
Okay.
Minima the crow. Actually, be our cabak.
Okay.
And the MPP bedding. We don't need MPP again. The NDC will make mistakes. There will be scandals.